number 12 in San Jose.
San Jose is proud to select from the Seattle Thunderbirds, Patrick Marleau.
Tim Hart from the Sharks makes the announcement, and Patrick Marleau will know the way to San Jose.
Well, it's just great to see where you're going, and it's just exciting, all the hype around it. Just been a dream of mine throughout the year, and it's just overwhelming. It's great.
Patrick Marleau! Centers in front, Marleau there, shoots, score! First National Hockey League goal for Patrick Marleau. Gets him in front, and they score!
Martin Stern, here's a great play from Patrick Marleau.
Scores! The first hat-trick in his NHL career! Patrick Marleau! Martin Stern shot, blocked, Marleau scores! What a goal! Marleau shoots, score! From the shot, score! A spectacular goal by Patrick Marleau! Now Marleau, and he scores another hat-trick! Marleau on the rebound, shoots and scores! And Patrick Marleau becomes the all-time leading goal scorer in San Jose Sharks history. Marleau, ready to go, he scores! Patrick Marleau with the hat-trick!
Stop the rebound, however, it's they're settling it. Marleau tries to get it wrong, and he scores!
2 on 1 if they hurry. It's Thornton moving up ice with Marleau. Thornton to Marleau, shoots, he scores! He scores! Patrick Marleau gets the game winner!
Rollins with it, so is Senegucci.
The pass, the shot, the save, the rebound, Patrick Marleau! Walking across the line, moves in, he shoots right on that save, they bring it out, Marleau scores! Patrick Marleau does it again! He scores the series winner in overtime! Shovels it, drinking hop off the corner boards, Marleau in front, backhand shot, he scores! He scores, and Patrick Marleau has done it again!
Patrick Marleau, a 2-point game to go over 1,000.
Back burns the shot right on that save made.
I remember that one.
He scores!
That's the Stanley Cup Finals.
Patrick Marleau, a wraparound, ties the game at 2.
He's got Marleau in on a breakaway.
He scores! That's 4 in the third. Patrick Marleau, Mr. San Jose Shark, scores his 500th National Hockey League goal. We are underway, and Patrick Marleau is now the all-time record holder in games played in the history of the National Hockey League.
Wow. What an incredible reminder of a remarkable career. But without further ado, let us welcome the man whom we are all here to recognize and celebrate. He is a San Jose Sharks franchise icon. Number 12, Patrick Marleau. Saskatchewan, population less than 100 at the time, would go on to have the legendary career that he did. 566 goals, 631 assists, nearly 1,200 points, 109 game-winning goals. You talk about clutch scoring. He's tied for 7th in NHL history in game-winning goals. And he had a game-winning goal against every team but one that he played. He's played in more regular season games than anyone in National Hockey League history. But it's not just the regular season. 195 Stanley Cup playoff games, 177 of those right here in San Jose. Representing his native Canada, Patrick won 2 Olympic gold medals. He was a member of the 2004 gold medal winning World Cup of Hockey team, and he captured another gold at the World Championships in 2003. That's quite a resume. Now, how did he do it? Let's take a look back at this then young man who would go on to have one of the most remarkable careers in National Hockey League history.
When Patrick was a little boy, the population around Adelaide was around 70 families.
It's a farming community. Everybody cooperated and did things together. They were tight-knit in that you knew your neighbors, you knew all the community members, a very friendly community. Patrick, as a child growing up, was like any typical young child. He spent a lot of time outdoors, and of course he had his farm chores to do, but he was into sports most of the time.
He just loved skating. I'd take him to the rink, and I got this chair for him to push around the ice, and he went up the ice about halfway, and he cut across. He said, "Dad, I don't need this." And he just turned around and he skated off like as if. And this was one of his first times that he went skating.
And Patrick always played up age group, and you could just see when he played up, I mean, the leadership quality and that just came along with a 10, 12-year-old boy.
When we met Patrick and we went out to his hometown in Antelope, Saskatchewan, he gave us the directions to go out there, and he was kind of like, "Oh, you're not going to believe this. There's no street signs. So you got to go down to a certain tree and take a right and take a left." On the first meeting, it was kind of eye-opening. And the character he had, you could see it in the family.
You know, when we first saw him, it was very clear that his number one asset was speed. Powerful speed, and he knew how to get open, and then he had a great release. And then there's something too you can't teach. You know, sometimes you can have that, but somehow pucks just don't seem to go in for certain guys. His pucks seem to go in.
When Patrick got drafted in Pittsburgh, that was an exciting time, and the Sharks management, they were really great with Jeanette and I.
He was a classic of a high pick that can change the franchise for a long time. He was one of those generational pieces for a franchise, and he was that guy.
At that time, until I got to know him, he came across as very quiet and reserved. A lot of times that can be read as not intense. You know, you kind of get buffaloed by the guys with the yapping and trash talking things. But I think as you got to know him, you learned not to be fooled. That deep down there was some intensity that far surpassed the guy with the big mouth.
He played an exhibition game. It was either his 18th birthday or right in that.
Oh, snap. Hi, Dale.
This kid's got a chance right away because just the way he plays and the way he thinks the game.
He was one of those guys that when things weren't going well, he only needed one chance to score. And yet there's not a lot of guys like that. One chance to score, and they can keep you in games.
This guy got better as a player. And it's almost impossible because it's a version of hockey. But I distinctly remember watching up top and like, holy smoke. Like, you never made that play before. So it's really interesting. He was a better player 8 years into his career. And you don't see that very often.
Quite honestly, Patrick Marleau would have come along 5 years later, the way the game's played now, he'd have went into a higher level. You look at these young guys in the game now, these big kids that can really skate and handle the puck. If I was one of those players and I had to pick somebody that I could emulate from the years past, I'd pick Patrick Marleau.
He's a role model, the real deal. I mean, we make so much of these guys with talent assume their character. Now, talent and character at times can be mutually exclusive, not inclusive. This kid was both.
At the end of the day, Patrick's a great guy. The three things you want in your organization, you want great people, great teammates, and great competitors, and you check them all off for Patrick Marleau.
Over the course of his life and NHL career, Patrick has crossed paths with thousands of people, many of whom played a part into who Patrick is as a man and who he became as a hockey player. But there were three individuals Patrick wanted to play a special part tonight and share in this celebration, each of whom has impacted his life and his career. Kelly Rudy was a 14-year veteran of the National Hockey League when he came to San Jose back in 1996. And while they were only teammates for one season in San Jose, Kelly and his family played an extremely important role for a barely 18-year-old Patrick when he arrived